Hi, this is Bee from Sorcery Soap, and I wanted to show you how to make a novel soap or a book soap, and it's not that hard, and you can make it with soap dough. So I have the pages all ready, and I'm going to choose purple. And this is the soap dough that's on the website now. This is, let me think, Purple Haze, I think, but it's from Nurture for sure. And it makes a really nice deep purple. It's from Nurture Soap Supply, and the recipe is in my book called The Magic of Soap Dough, which just came out not too long ago. And anyway, I wanted to show you how to make these novel soaps. I've made one before, I made a video before, but it wasn't very good. It didn't show exactly what I was doing, which is I tend to do. Anyway, I've made tons and tons of these novel soaps. I can't seem to keep them in stock, and I always forget to make a video. So here you go. So this is the cover. Let's see here. And I have to roll it as big as my cookie cutter for that part. So if you want, the other thing too I wanted to mention, if you want really true, this is not a true red. I don't know if it shows on the camera or not. It's more of a cherry red. And if you want a really like saturated color, really good dark color, not dark I should say, like for example, if you make this was made with white soap base, but if I make it with a darker soap base, like unrefined shea butter or whatever, darker oils, it'll come out a little bit different. So that's just a tip. That's just one thing I have in my book, but there's tons and tons of stuff in the new book about cold processed soap and soap making and soap dough specifically. And anyway, so this is my cookie cutter template that I've started using. I used to hand cut all these and just have a paper template, but I found these cookie cutters and it seems to be really helpful. And you got to be careful with them because they're really sharp. So, and then I place this on here. Well, we should put it right in the middle, right? And I want to test it first. See, that comes out nice. Okay, there you go. And you can use rubber stamps to stamp these. That's just water, by the way. Getting the pages exact is probably the most difficult part of the whole process. But these can be made 3 or 4 ounces and it's a whole bar of soap. I'd prefer this to be a little bit longer so my template's off, but like that. So the thicker the outside, the less you have to worry about this part breaking off. And generally I would let these set for a day before I do anything with them, like affect them. But for this I'll show you, this is the Dresden tool. And what happens is you make drag marks. See how soft that is? That's not. And that's why I would let it set. So you'll make drag marks if you take this and drag it across. You can see that to make pages. And if you just press in it, it still does the same at this stage. If I leave this, then I'll get cleaner lines, just to cure for a day. So I know we want everything right now, but a lot of this is a matter of patience. So you see all those little drag marks? Yeah, that's not okay for me because I don't like having to clean up all those little soap things. And any of these little Mars, the outside gets marred, you can just clean it up. That's just alcohol. The reason I use alcohol versus water is because the alcohol will evaporate more quickly. Generally, I just smooth it out with water. So then, I'll take something like, see, and I can leave prints on it too, so you don't want to do that. And then to make the edge, there. There. If I leave this to cure just a bit longer, it'll come out a little bit nicer and have less drag marks. Anyway, there you go. And that's how you make it. This one has been setting for a little while, so that's not going to have as many drag marks, and I can clean that up. Because the soap just sort of comes away. And all these little things have to be cleaned up. You guys might not know this, but I make a lot of videos, except that they're not always in frame. So you can't really see what I'm doing. And I've been chastised way too many times by people that want to see what I'm doing. So I understand. It's hard to see where you're at with the camera while you're doing it and caught up in making the thing. But anyway, there you go. Hopefully you can see it. Hopefully I'll have done this video correctly and you'll be able to see what I did. So this is just a piece of soap wrapped around. It's mostly the measurements that are more important than anything. Obviously I didn't get the measurements correct on this piece, but I don't happen to have an entire loaf of white soap dough at my disposal right now because it's all listed on the website. So if you have any questions about soap dough, I'm much better at writing than I am at making videos, although I hope to get better in the future. I have 3 books with a variety of combinations and whatever suits you on the website sorcerysoaps.com. And you can get the book immediately. It's an ebook, downloadable right now, and then print it out at your leisure. I eventually will make these books into physical books because the last one I did I'm very pleased with. And you might not know this, but it's a little bit more difficult to do when you have high color resolution photos in there. So if you want those to come through, I've done some practice books with different places, and the pictures don't come out the way I want them to, and I wouldn't want to make a book available that has inferior pictures, so that's a little bit tricky. So for now it's ebook, and I have over 300 blog posts on my website, mostly about soap dough, but even soap stories, soap interviews with other soap makers, a variety of different things. I'm starting the interview process again, and just tons and tons of information. I understand the idea that people want to share information, but they also want to get paid for their book. And I subscribe to that idea. However, I also subscribe to the idea of helping when you can. So I try to be as helpful as I can and share tons of information that doesn't give away the whole store, but just gives you enough information to answer your questions. So if you're looking for something and you search a topic, there's a search button up at the top of the website. If you search a topic, then a complimentary or a corresponding blog post will come up. So there's just a lot of information on that website, and I don't know that it's being fully utilized as far as a resource for soap dough. and I wanted to point that out. So I hope you're having a great day and that this video did what I needed it to do. Okay, thanks.